this place so dry, no love to find. You're the only one that ever acts kind. They all after me, what's happening? I wish that you could see what I see. Your boyfriend's a douche that thinks he's cool and doesn't deserve a girl like you.
Hey guys, it's me, Nagato Uzumaki Udifer, and today I'm going to be doing What If Deku Was Neglected and Was Treated on Part 6. So, last time I said he won the sports festival, and also he was going to go hang out with his friends at this ramen place that was kind of like the ramen shop in Naruto. But so, as he's sitting there on his phone, he's waiting there for about 15 minutes, and then he gets a text from Denki saying that they might be late because Aizawa wanted to tell them something. And so Izuku just texted back, okay, and so after another 15 minutes, Denki gets there with Mineta and Denki gets there with Mineta and Tokoyami, and so now they're just waiting for everyone else to show up, like Mei Hatsume, Kyokujiro, and Mina Asuda. So I don't know why I said their full names. But so yeah, and Toya. So after around 10 minutes, Mei shows up, and Toya shows up about 5 minutes later. And then Jiro and Mina pull up around 10 minutes after that. And so, as soon as they all sit down, everyone who doesn't know Toya, so basically everyone at the table except Izuku's like, hey Izuku, who is he? And Toya's like, oh, well, I'm Toya Todoroki. And, so, since they were all, kind of friends with Deku, they kind of glared at him. And Izuku's like, come on, guys, calm down, he's chill. And they're like, really? Well, like, still glaring at him. And, he looks at them and says, guys, I know what my brother did, and I know that's not cool, so I promise you this is just as awkward for me as it is for you. But so, Izuku, and they're all just kind of like sitting there silently seeing what he's going to say to them, or say to Izuku, and he's like, yeah, and then they just both start, like, talking about anime, like they've been best friends forever, and, Denki's like, Izuku, how long have you known this dude? And Izuku's like, oh, well, I'm gonna say, I forgot how old Toya was in, like, in canon. I'm just gonna say that he's, like, a little bit younger. Like, I'm gonna say all of them are, like, 14 or 15. I'm gonna say that he's, like, 16. So, and I'm gonna say that, they met when he was in his first year of UA, and Izuku was still in middle school. Like, Izuku was just kind of sitting at a manga or like an anime store, and he bumped into Toyo. And so he would have been like his second year of middle school, and he's like, "Oh, well, I've known him since my second year of middle school," and they're like, "Whoa, really?" And so, um, they just actually all start to chill out, and I'm gonna skip over all of it, but they just all kind of talk and get to know each other more, you know. Every now and then, Toya or Izuku or Shinso has to stop Mineta or Denki from like trying to do like a little bit perverted things to the girls, you know, the usual. And so um uh um and so after dinner they I'm gonna say everyone tries to split it, but then Toya is like, well, I'm actually gonna pay, and everyone is like, wait, what? Really? But we all agreed to split, and he's like, too late, I already paid. And they're like, why would you want to pay? Well, I mean, it was on my dad's credit card, so. And, they're like, well, who's your dad? And he's like, well, he's the number 2 hero. And they just all look at him in shock, but they don't really complain. Because they didn't really want to pay, they were just being nice. But so, so after that, they leave, they go, they start walking home, and then, you know, Denki and Mineta go one way, Mina and Jiro go one way, but the entire way back, Mei and Izuku are going the same way. So, after a bit, Izuku goes to his apartment door, and then Mei goes to the one right next to him, and Izuku's like, hey Mei, I never knew you lived here. And, she's like, well, because I'm gonna say she's a bit more shy right now. And he's like, how come you never told me? You know? And she starts blushing and is like, well, you were in the hero course and I am in the support course, so I never really thought. But before she could even finish that, Izuku grabs her by the shoulders and shakes her and says that it doesn't matter if I'm in the hero course or you're in the support course, you dope. We could have just been friends. And then he kind of starts to cry, you know? And she starts to feel bad, and she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. And then he hugs her tighter, and she's like, Izuku, let go. And he's like, sorry. And, so, Izuku, he's about to go in when he sees that she's kind of scared, and, he asks why she's scared, and, I'm just gonna say, that when they were walking back from the restaurant, and after everyone had already split up except for them, she seen this guy, like, she turned back, and I'm pretty sure her quirk was that she could, like, enhance her eyesight or something. When she looked back, she seen, like, a few blocks down, there was this guy in all black with, like, light blue hair who was following them. And so, so she tells him this, and Zuko's like, really? Wait, hold on. Here, come inside real quick. And so they go inside, and, Inko is, alright, so, no. They don't go inside, they just he's like, well, I'll spend the night if you want. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? And she blushes and she's like, okay. And so he walks inside and it's just covered in like different small robots that are used for different things, like helping with cooking and cleaning and helping with like household chores. And he's like, whoa, this is so cool. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And so um mm, um she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go get ready for bed. And he's like, okay. And she's like, are you going to? And he's like, yeah, exactly like that. And then so she walks off thinking it's kind of weird, but she does the normal things you do before bed. She takes a shower, changes into her pajamas, brushes her teeth, and then goes to bed. And then when she wakes up in the morning, she sees Izuku sitting on the couch, and and there's like a whole bunch of energy drinks. And she looks in the fridge, and every energy drink she had in there, which it was a lot, has been drinking all of them. Well, like no, like I'd say 1/4 of them, and she had a lot. But yeah. So, yeah, like 1/4. And so, she just looks at Izuku with a kind of angry, pouty face. You know, that cute Tsundere do. Because she kind of gives me Tsundere vibes. And she's like, Izuku, you can't do this. Otherwise, and he's like kind of sleepy. He's like, otherwise what? And she pouts more, and then she kind of like starts hitting his shoulder, except it doesn't really hurt. And there's a knock on the door, and so she goes to open it, and it was a delivery from like the support course. I don't know if the support course had it. I don't know. I think it's just a hero course. I don't know. But basically, Izuku realizes he's probably going to be late for school, and he kind of wakes up more and is like, oh, May, sorry, I have to get up. And before she could say that they didn't have school that day, he rushes over to the next door to get his uniform really quick before he would have to talk to his parents, his sister Bakugo, or Bakugo's parents. But when he gets there, he sees a man dropping off like a stack of papers, and he's like, hey, what's up? And the guy's like, well, every UA student, or where they live, is supposed to get a package of, and the hero course of how many heroes want them to intern at their agency. And they were being sent because the class 1A teacher Aizawa took a sick day, and Izuku's like, oh, okay. He's like, okay, and he just takes all the papers in, and he sits them on the table and kind of starts scrolling through them. And May's like, well, what do you got there? He's like, well, apparently school's off today. And she screams, yay. And he's like, but I'm going to be going through these and seeing which hero to intern with. And then she kind of pouts in the corner. And he's like, well, yeah. And so I'll leave it off here. Next time I'll probably decide who he interns with. And it'll depend on who you guys think he should intern with based on personality and quirk and like training in the comments. And I'll probably do the Stain arc and the training, the forest training camp arc, and bye.